Welcome,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast, Respectfully. This is very dear to me. I got two childhood friends. My boy DL is my co-host today, and we talking to one of the a huge staple from Omaha. We go back to the basement to where we at now. So this woman is the author of Get Your Ish Together. She's a
Yeah.
successful business owner, the niche coach. She recently became a part of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She did all y'all kids' mama's hair in the 90s in the
Oh
basement.
no.
She's the former owner of Gossip Salon. She's empowered many, and she's not afraid to tell the truth. This is my homegirl. This is like a sister to me. Omaha native, currently living in Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome, Alicia, aka Mudgy.
Munchie.
Mercy. Oh,
You gotta know her to call her Mudgy.
Right, right. I
And
tell
look,
people
sis,
I forgot
help me
about
pronounce your
that.
last name because I didn't want to mess it up.
oh, that's okay. So my last name is Brima. So it's
Brima.
Brima, like Brima.
Got you.
But people get it mixed up all the time. But it's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brima. Yep, Alicia Brima. But I mean, I still it's hyphenated only because I wrote the book. So I still wanted people to be able to find me if they was to, what I'm saying, to look
Right.
for me. But yeah, so I hyphenated it. But that was my only reason for hyphenating it.
Got you. So, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. We ain't chopped it up since the basement. I'm
Yeah,
excited, man. Again, childhood friend DL, always been my boy. We all went back to Nick
absolutely.
Millen together. Man, this is love. So I want to get right into it, sis. I don't want to waste no time. How does a stylist like you give all that up and just in her 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explain that roadmap, what that looked like. You've been doing hair since the basement, since the 90s, since we knew you. How you give all that up?
Whoo wee. How did I give all that up? I would love to say that it was easy, but
Yeah.
it wasn't because hair was all that I knew. That's what I've been doing since we was kids.
Right.
My mom was a single mom, and it was things that I wanted. And as a kid, I kind of felt like I needed, or even as a young, as a girl, what I'm saying, there was things I wanted, I needed, and mama just couldn't get it. Some things she just couldn't get. So when I don't know, hair just kind of became my thing. I was drawing pictures, and then next thing you know, boom, I was the hood stylist. But when it got to a place where
Right.
while I was running a business, I realized that I started running the business with my heart and not my head.
Mm,
So when you run a business with your heart and not your head, you miss a lot of things. You're not really paying attention to anything. You're not paying attention to how much money is going out as opposed to how
mm,
much money is coming in. And
mm,
because I felt like I had established myself as a stylist and as a salon owner, I think pride and ego wouldn't allow me to close my salon sooner rather than
mm-hmm.
later. So I kind of kept going. I kind of kept going a little bit. And when I say running it with your heart and not your head, um, you don't let people be late on booth rent because you can't be late on the rent. you know
Yeah.
um
Right. Yeah.
not only did I have to pay the rent for that space, I also had to pay the rent for home. So I had to make sure that me and my son was good. But there was times that hey, what I'm saying, I didn't know which one I was going to pay. But when you own a
Right.
business, the business
Yeah.
always has to come first because you have employees
Absolutely.
that also have to eat. They're eating off that plate. So you have to make sure that when they turn the locks, the door open, when they flip on
Yeah.
the lights come on, water running, what I'm saying, all those things. So um, I noticed that the expenses was weighing so heavily on me. I'm like, damn, but everybody else is raising their booth rent, or everybody else is kind of doing, they're scaling up. And I realized that I still kind of had a little bit of a basement mentality.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was still
Yeah.
kind of stuck
Yeah.
there. Make sure the
Wow.
hood is good. Got to make sure my girls is good. Got to make
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
That's hard.
I have to, I'm
So
saying, to
you
do that
had,
for.
so you had, it sounds like you had been wanting to get out of it then, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't want to. It's the people that you end up loving. It's the people that you
Yeah.
end up. You know what I'm saying? I knew my hands was creative, but I also knew that my hands were getting older. So yeah, you can notice that in your movement and your in everything.
Mm.
So I knew, like I said, I knew. I just didn't. I didn't understand how to pivot at that point. So
Right.
nobody had introduced me to the pivot. I didn't come from a family that pivot. I didn't really have a lot of friends at that time that understood or knew anything about how to pivot. For the most part, I
Mm-hmm.
think I was probably one of the only people in my friend group that owned a business.
Right.
So I ain't had nobody to go to for advice or anything like that. So
Right.
I just kind of, I just stuck it out. And then when I met my husband, he was just like, I'll never forget. He was like, show me your plan. Show me what you got going on, what you bringing in, what's going out, you know what I'm saying? All the things. So now he want to break down my money. Nobody had ever
Mm-hmm.
broke down my money before. That's my money.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was
Right.
still, I'm learning how to be this new wife, and I'm learning how to do all these things, you know what I'm saying? All these things that I didn't have it. I didn't see it in front of me to be, oh, okay, mama did this, so I'm gonna do it like that, or I didn't see that. So when this man comes into my life and you
Mm.
trying to, in my mind, you trying to rearrange some things. You're trying to rearrange them. You don't really know the hair game. You don't know what I do. You don't know who I am to my people. So he's like, you're right. I don't know any of that, but I do know that you not gonna keep taking from the house just to make sure that the business is good.
Mm.
Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa. Because I've been
Right.
taken from the house,
Woke
but I
you
was
up
taken
like that,
from
man. You
my
look
home.
at it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And so I always tell people, when you have somebody in your life, um, if it's your spouse, if it's your boy, whoever it is, if you have somebody in your life that can teach you game and that can teach you just that you can learn from. Don't ever
Yeah.
get a woman or a man that you can't learn from. You going backwards in
That's
life.
good.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you
That's
get somebody that I,
Absolutely.
so I had to,
Absolutely.
so yeah, and with that, I had to make sure that I remained teachable. You got to remain
yeah.
teachable though. So that's the thing. You got to I had to humble myself, and I had to remain teachable. He didn't force me to stop. He didn't make me stop. He didn't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me what I'd been doing. He looked at the
Yeah.
finances and he showed me what I had been doing. And I was I was kind of in a little bit of a hamster wheel that looked great on the outside to everybody else, but was,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah. Yeah.
that great on the
Wow.
inside.
Thanks for sharing that, man, and being transparent. That takes a lot of courage and transparency.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I'm
Oh, that's all y'all getting today. I'm handing
yeah,
out
I
transparency.
already
It's free.
know.
It's free today.
So look, how was that transition? And shout out to my boy Justice coming in like a Superman saving the day. You know what I mean? And as a man, we are the head. We set the tone, and thank God for me learning the things of God. And something you said that really stuck out to me. It's my favorite scripture. If the heart condemns me, God is greater than the heart and knows all things. Because like you say, that heart will have you stuck in places that
Absolutely.
mentally and spiritually you know better, but you stay in there because your heart is in it. So I
That's
love
it.
how you said that.
That's it. And then also there's a thing called there's a survivor's remorse
Mm,
that you end up having the more successful you get in business, because you got to
mm,
think, the more successful you get in business, the more it kind of pulls you away from what you used to know, who you used to know, who you used to be around, who you used to, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying, who you used to
yeah,
politic with. So but as your business starts to scale up and starts to grow, it takes you into a
mm-hmm,
different direction. So my thing was,
uh,
I was I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I knew where I wanted to go. Every
yeah,
time I went to Atlanta, every time I went to big cities for the big hair shows and things like that, my mind is like I came back so renewed and so ready. I was
yeah,
just ready.
yeah.
But I was ready up here. I wasn't ready in here,
That's
because
good.
how do I step away from my girls? How do I walk
Right,
away from my crew? How do I,
right.
because none of my girls do hair. None of my friends do hair.
Yeah.
Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I was the only one in the basement. I was just combing everybody's hair. So none of them do it. They can,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
none of them do it, So
Right, right.
I felt myself. And that's a hard thing when you feel yourself moving. So let's backtrack a little bit. So the transition from, I went from hair to, then I became like a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ain't like her. I ain't like her at all at first. I didn't, because I ain't like her. She felt a little, you know what I'm saying? She felt a little lazy to me. She felt a
Yeah.
little, you know what I'm saying? She felt real just complacent. That's how she felt.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at my husband. Now while I'm tapering down my business and while I'm closing down, I see my husband ramping up.
Yeah.
See my
Yeah.
it's like this nigga's engine was like starting like just ramping up, right? So
Yeah.
got to be the supportive wife. I got these kids. I done had these new babies. You know what I'm saying? My rider at that time, Dejan, had to be like about 17, I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying? So he only know one mom. He only know the young mom that I was. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So he's learning me with everybody else. So it was
Mm.
it was difficult. It was really, really difficult because I've transitioned now. So then, stay at home mom thing, watching my husband do his thing. He's a mental health therapist. But also, but he does so many things, right? So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
come bringing this new world into my life with these new business people, not, this new business. And so now we have individuals with developmental disabilities and things like that. We're dealing with behaviors, all these things. And I'm like, damn, I'm just used to women and their problems. You know what I'm saying? Woo-hoo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo! Oh,
It's different.
you know what I'm saying? Oh, you just hit people for no reason. Oh, you gonna spit. Oh, okay.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
as he's bringing this new world, but my heart, the way my heart is set up, I think I've always been in the business of people.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah. I
think,
agree.
you know what I'm
100%.
saying? God
100%.
always put me in a position to take care of people. You know what I'm saying? When I was doing hair, no matter what I
Mm.
was making, no matter how the business was failing, I was still making sure mama
Yeah.
was good. You know what I'm saying? I was still paying mama's bills. I was still making sure mama had what mama need. Mama been living on
Yeah.
25th and Fort by Miss Gresham. You know what I'm saying? A house down. You know what I mean? And shout out to that block because that's what brought us up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never had a Miss Betty in your life, you missed out. But you know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
That's out.
Um, that's it. That's it. So
And I would say, let me say this too. Some you just said, and I 100% agree. You have always, even when females sat in your chair when we came down there and hung out, God did gift you with a grace. You always know how to encourage people. We used to say, "Let's go to Alicia house." You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
We ride around. Let's
Yeah.
go down to Alicia house. We go in the basement, and you just everything you knew how to. You just always had encouraging words how to lift people up. You know what I mean? So
And that was important to me because I don't even know if any of y'all knew, but like y'all was my guys and like y'all meant
yeah.
everything to me. So when y'all come to the house, I knew like, hey, Crips, run out the back. Hey, my God, this because you know what I'm saying? Because I did hair, so you don't know whose guy is
I
gonna come
remember
through,
running out the back.
you know? So my thing was it- these are my guys. The people that you brought over here to pick you up, those are your friends. These are my guys, and they're gonna always be safe when they walk into this basement. Because
For
you know what I'm
sure,
saying?
always.
You know where we at.
Yeah.
You know where we at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that was important to me when y'all came by. Another thing that was important to me is as we grew up and as we started to get older, I needed everybody to see me past the block. I needed everybody to know that the block was still in me and it's never going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
But we passed the block now. We're not there. We're
No
not
doubt.
down there no more. Like we got kids, we got families, we got homes we got to take care of. We got a lot of things we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know how to separate that. I just really, really
I
didn't. And that,
remember when
I'm sorry.
y'all moved up there by Payless, I believe it probably broke the whole Miller Park's heart because I was like,
Oh
they
yeah,
moved? They
absolutely.
moved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I end up moving. Mama moved around the corner to where she's at 25th and Fort. So Mama just moved around the corner. But me, um, I
Oh,
moved
that was
out
your
on.
house?
Yeah, I moved out on my own. I moved out from Mama. And no,
Uh,
okay. You talk about Ty and them first. Ty and them moved out the hood first. They moved out the neighborhood
no, I'm
first.
talking about that house when you moved over there by Goodies, like in back of Goodies down the street from
That was me.
Payless.
Yeah, that was
That
just
was you?
me.
Oh, okay.
That
I
was
didn't
that
know
was
that.
when I that
Okay.
was Yep, that was my very first 40th and Boyd. You
I
know
didn't
that
get
was
no personal
different.
with thing.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
so I moved out. Me and Mama had like the crazy just a crazy relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, so I ended up moving out, getting my own place. That was my very first home. And so mama always taught me, she was like, you know what? I don't care if you ain't got any money. I don't care if you ain't got any money at all. As long as your bills is paid in your home, you ain't got to have company. Nobody got to come through. Nobody have to know you ain't got a couch. That's your business. Do what you got to do as a woman to take care of what you need to take care of. So I did that. You know what I'm saying? So, again,
How was that
those
transition leaving Miller Park, moving up there? How was that transition?
it was hard because my heart was still down there and my friends was, you know, I still had some friends down there, and all of that. But I think it was kind of clear that we all were kind of growing up and kind of
Yeah.
trying to evolve and figure out what kind of woman we were going to be. A good portion of us were mothers already at that time. So we
Hmm.
had to grow up a little bit faster than everybody else did. Even the fathers
Right.
to
Right.
our kids, we still had to grow up a little bit faster than them because when a baby come home, the baby come home with you, and that's
Right.
your responsibility off the top. So,
When did you move up there? What year you move up there?
oh one,
I won. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I moved
Yeah,
up
that was
there.
right
a couple
before I
years
left.
after high school there.
Yeah, yeah, I moved after high school. I never forget me. Mama was just like, I'm done. I'm done. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't do
For
nothing
me,
but respect it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
the
go.
same,
Yeah.
Yeah,
same,
you know.
man.
So I
And
so
let
I
me
had to do
ask,
what I had to do.
let me ask you this, because I think I heard this. I don't know if it was in your book. I don't know if Babe was telling me. The difference with raising Dejan to the new babies, because right, you were a child, a baby raising a baby. How was
Hmm.
that transition with Bailey and little Joshy from Dejan, and how did you balance that? Was it some complications? How did Dejan feel? I know that could have, got a
Yeah.
little tough there.
Um, that transition was real hard because again, remember I had to. So now I'm not doing hair anymore. I'm at home. I'm raising these children. Got this new business that's in our lives. Um, I felt like I had to put myself down. I felt like I dropped my whole identity and I had just became these new kids' mama, right? So I
Mm.
go from, but that transition it was hard because now this is something that I think I kind of talked about a little bit in the book, but I didn't want any more kids, not because I didn't love them, not because I didn't think I could. It wasn't that. It was for two
Mm.
things. Number one, I was scared of being a single mom again. Didn't want to do that again.
Mm,
Didn't want to be another baby mama.
absolutely.
Didn't. And the second thing was I didn't know for sure. I just didn't know if I could love another child as much as I loved Dejan. So
Mm.
Dejan served
Oh,
so many roles in my life. Dejan was
Mm.
my first little friend. He was all mine. I didn't have to share him with
yeah.
anybody else.
Right.
There was always speculation about biological family and all these kind of things in my life. And Dejan was the one thing that was consistent that I knew was mine and that nobody in the world could take away. So,
Wow.
so he had became dependent upon me. Without me realizing it, I had became dependent upon him, which happens a lot with single moms and their
Hmm.
sons. Happens a lot.
Yep. Yep.
You don't realize at the time that you can kind of be creating a little a little monster, just a little bit. Not on purpose though. It doesn't become
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
monster on purpose. It's just that he don't know this new mom. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
He don't know me. Deja know all of y'all. He don't know this new life. All he know is my mom married now and she got the I, this is what I feel. I felt like my son, as he started to get older, he started kind of sitting back and looking. And I think he kind of felt like the picture was closing in, but closing him out, maybe. Maybe, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Maybe he kind of felt like that. Um, Again, nothing on purpose. It's just that little kids need more attention than the big kids do. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
need
yeah.
this, I never stopped being his mama. I never stopped being his mama, but for boys, once you get a little small little piece of ass, you know what I'm saying? You grown now.
Right.
You're talking with your chest now. And that's how he was feeling. But I got my baby, I got him graduated, doing his, what I'm saying? He was doing his thing, what I'm saying? All of that. But it was very difficult for me because I didn't know how to, my
How to
whole life was
segue.
Dejan. You know what I'm saying? My whole
Right.
life was
Right.
him. So when the new kid came 20 years later, I was like, Oh, now 20 years later, when a new kid come, Mama was so instrumental. Mama's whole block. Dario whole family don't watch Dejan. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
whether they
yeah.
watched him outside to play or they watched him as a kid, that's who helped shape him and help me bring him up. So now I don't have that no more. Mama getting older, these kids is younger. Dejan he's trying to figure out how he's becoming a man and who he want to be. At the same time, you need your mama, but you a man. I don't know how that's a, you know what I mean? I need my mama,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that makes
I'm a
sense.
grown man. So that was
Right.
so he would have to absolutely say how he felt in the moment, but to me, um it was a thing of I needed to now let him grow and become a man because I had sheltered every single thing around him. If the neighborhood that we moved in got too hot or got too whatever, we moved. And I did that because I always wanted to save his life.
Right.
Mama kept us in the hood because Mama was afraid to branch out and go anywhere else. She was
Mm-hmm.
afraid. And so I begged Mama not to let me go to North High School. I begged her. I was like, Mom, if you go to
You
North,
didn't
I
want to go
swear
to
to God.
North?
No, because I know me.
That's
I
why I didn't go
knew,
to North. That's why I
you know
went
what
to
I'm saying?
South.
I knew
That's why I
me. You
went to
got to
South.
understand, North. This is Macmillan that's coming to North,
Yeah,
y'all.
Right, right,
So
yeah,
right.
yeah.
you know what I'm
That's why I
saying?
didn't go
Like
to North.
I'm like, this is everybody that walked home with us from
Yeah,
Right,
Macmillan.
right. Yeah.
Now
Rock
we
y'all read it.
over here at North. Oh, this is ridiculous. And so I knew it would
Right.
be. I knew
Right.
what I didn't do. And this is one of the things I want to say this real quick. Isaac, I remember being at Macmillan, and you were easily one of the smartest dudes I knew, and I
Yeah.
couldn't understand it
Appreciate
because we had. I'm like,
appreciate that.
how? So you got dog pound, and you on the honor, like you know what I'm saying? Like you,
He's still
nigga never told nobody he was
Yeah,
really
for
doing
sure.
homework, right? He never told nobody he
right,
was
Yeah.
really.
right, right.
I'm thinking we all just playing around. We all doing whatever. But he in the classroom, like
Straight A
never
student.
straight A student. Do you hear me? The teacher
He
is passing
was.
out tests, and Isaac is you 99%, 100%.
Yeah,
Alicia,
yeah.
58%, Ty,
He's
42%.
he's
We was
still
all together this weekend. When the hell did you go
yeah.
do the assignment? So he was. So
Man,
I tell my husband this all the time. It never surprises me when I see. It never surprised who he has become today. The only thing that surprised me is that it wasn't sooner. I promise to God,
yeah,
because
I appreciate that.
I tell
Yeah, for sure.
my youngest son, you always know your kids. My youngest son got a sharp brain like that.
Yo,
Um,
Joshy.
Josh is different. Josh is a different beast. Dejan that's my loving kid. That's my kid. That's my emotional child. He's my rider. He's solid for no reason. Solid and don't even have to be. Like that's him. But Dejan, there's a soft spot in him that it just stays that way. That's just who he is. That's just how my
Yeah.
guy is. Where Josh is like, I'm gonna get this done, but I'm coming back for you later, dog. Like I'm gonna get this done. I got something for you in a minute. And so when I see that mind, when you are raising strong Black boys like that, I wish I would have nurtured that more inside of Dejan
Mm,
instead of trying to instead of
yeah.
coddling everything for him. There was an adventure that he needed to go on as a young man that I should have took my
We
hands off of.
We was just
we
talking
was just
about that.
talking about that.
Yeah.
We
We
was
was
just
just saying
talking
that
about
before we
that.
came on.
We
I
was
Yeah.
promise
just
you.
talking about that. How
Yep.
women gotta let their kids bump their head because they want to raise them differently than what they was raised. But what they women don't realize is that you grew up to be a good person. So you still want to use those same values that you was raised with. If you feel
Whatever.
like you're a good person,
I
then you
promise you.
shouldn't want to stray away from where your mom and your dad raised you. If you had a dad, if
100%.
however you was raised, you don't need to go
However,
far from there. So you
period.
gotta let them bump their head.
Yep.
Period.
That's
So
how we learn. Bump his head, he bumped his.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
We learn.
I feel like it was that grit that made us feel
That
how
part.
we feel now, and that gave us what we, that put us
Yeah.
where we
Mm-hmm.
are right now. So as mothers, I'm saying this as mothers, and I used to go back and forth with the women in the salon. They was mad about it. They always say I side with the men, and it wasn't that. It's just that I do their hair, so I know how they can be. You know what I'm saying? I know them
Yeah.
firsthand. I'm one of them. A
You sound
toxic
like
mother.
Twa. She always side with the beard. Yeah.
I promise you, because a toxic mother, that's the first person that the child meets.
Man, absolutely.
That's
I'm
good.
with
That's
that
good.
right now.
And when
Listen,
you are,
ladies.
listen, when you are woman enough to realize that at some part of your life, you was that mama or you was that person, I promise you, then you will start to see things and you'll start to understand why things went left the way that it did.
Yeah.
Mm.
So my mother coddled my son a lot also. She did. She really, really did. But grandmothers is kind of expected
Grandbaby.
with the grandma. It's a
Yeah.
grandbaby. You know
Only
what I'm saying?
grandbaby too.
Yeah.
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 That was so, I get that. But me, I feel like I knew better, but again, when you see your life kind of going somewhere else, you say, oh, well,
Yeah.
let's try this over here. Well, let's see that. He don't need to see that. He don't need to see any of those things. He don't need to be around that kind of stuff. Let me take him out of this environment and let me, oh, no, he don't need to be with all those cousins, not those cousins, because those cousins are the ones that he need those cousins. Nigga, I needed those cousins.
Mm.
I needed those. I
Yeah.
needed those adventures.
Absolutely.
And
Let me
so,
ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
no, keep going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, question. So that's good because we was talking about this earlier also. So now that you got another time to do it a second time around, right? Knowing what you know, and that, like we're saying, we don't want to spoil these kids. What's that balance look like? How do you, because you and your husband, y'all pretty wealthy. Y'all got these kids. They're growing up privileged just as well as others. How do you? But we still want to have that balance. What do you guys do? And I know Justice. I'm sure he's very creative and him with his culture, I can only imagine. But I want to hear from you. How are y'all finding that balance so they don't end up too spoiled, privileged, and teaching them hard work ethic and etc.?
What I realize is that you can Justice, because of Justice's culture, he don't get knocked off his square. He say no, he mean that shit forever. Like no is just no, that's it, not Me, they
Right,
know
I
if you
love
if
it.
you ask, they know if they ask me enough times, I might give in or I might whatever. But one
You,
thing
I
that I do
can't.
Yeah.
exactly. But I've learned to respect what my husband says and how my husband goes about things. Now, don't get me wrong. Some things be so far fetched. I'll be like, "Hey, Nigerians crazy in the motherfucker." Like, hey, y'all different. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah.
again, there's still a grit. There's still a grit that he came from. That I'm like, okay, your
Mm-hmm.
grit was your shit was a little grittier than mine's, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I understand. Now, this is what I will
That's a
say.
different deal.
I don't care what it is. More money comes more problems. That's just what it
Yeah.
is. So now I live out here in Arizona. These kids have an exposure to absolutely everything. So it's very different. If one of y'all had a birthday party and I slid through, I probably walked through or I caught a jitney, stickums, dropped us off, or something like that. Right here, you go to the birthday party,
Right, right.
the guy when you pull up, the kids is Lamborghinis. It's everybody got Teslas, everybody got all the things. They got the things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the birthday party. I'm like, Josh, where you get the Nike wristband from? Oh, they gave them out at the birthday party, or oh, they or these kinds of things. Or you have parents that say, hey, so we're all going to Disney this weekend. Huh?
Oh,
No.
yeah. That
Right.
You
you
know what
want
I'm
to
Like
saying?
they
part of
going
So
to the
it?
family fun center or so.
yeah. So
Wow.
or the party invitation will be like, hey, so not sure if it's a short notice or not, but I know the party is not until October. I know, but we're thinking Disney. No, we can't. So what we so we now and these are the kids they go to school with. You know what I'm saying? They you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they go to school and they with these kids, and I can't, but this is what I learned to tell my kids. You are who you are. Don't ever get it twisted. Then I have to act like Deborah again. Your mama is not their mama. I don't do the shit that they do. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do all of that. So still having to teach them and show them like, nah, baby, we don't get down like that. We don't, some of those things we just don't do. We don't put
Yeah.
them in certain circles and certain situations so they can, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we just don't, because then when you bring your ass home, I can't relate to you because I'm
Right.
still, I'm
Yeah.
still, you know what I'm saying? So,
So
so
still
it's
just
still,
staying true to who you is.
I just stay true to who I am. Justice is never is always gonna stay true to we are to who he is. So when we show up at any function, shit, chances are, nigga, my justice is ashy, nigga. I'm a little ashy. I'm a little,
He's stupid.
but I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just me, and
Right.
it don't matter. But what I do tell my
No
kids is
doubt.
this: I don't care what your parents have. I don't care what we work hard to do and what we work hard to have and what we have created. Um, don't dumb us down. Don't water us down to fit in certain social groups. You'll see kids that'll dumb
Yeah.
themselves down because they want to
Yeah.
fit in. You'll see kids. My
Yeah.
oldest daughter, I'll never forget. My oldest daughter was so upset that she said, my friends, they don't have their dad. Their dad is not always asking them where they're at and what they're doing. And this, she was about 14 years old. I'll never forget. My friends don't have all of that. And then here's my dad. And so at that time, she couldn't see the beauty in having a dad. We ain't had none of that, y'all. Us on this, we ain't had it.
Come on,
You know what
man.
I'm
We were
saying?
just talking. Come on, man. Come
We ain't
on.
had it. So now
Yeah.
you have a
We was
child
just
that
talking
has
about that.
that. And she's like,
And you
no,
complaining?
I don't want that. I
That's
don't, I
crazy.
don't want my dad checking on me. So now that she's older, she's like,
Yeah.
hey, them
She get
niggas
it.
really didn't have nobody checking on them. They really didn't have this. They
Mhm.
really didn't have that.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't want my kids
I
to
tell
water down who they are, but my kids, they know.
right.
I tell them that we're rich with love. We're rich with, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Money. The
Spirit. Yeah.
same people you see on the way up with money is the same people you see on the way down with money. And money makes
That's
you
good.
more. Money makes you more of who you
Of
already
whatever.
are.
That part. That part.
Now listen to this.
We all dumbed ourselves down in
We
school to
did.
fit in. That's
I know
all we
we
was doing.
did.
When I was up in there, man, I was talking to a friend I was locked up with, man. We were just talking about how we was brainwashed into getting praised for doing wrong stuff.
All right.
And if you go to school, you graduate, you a nerd, you don't get that praise.
Come
But
on,
I go
man.
Exactly.
around the corner and bust somebody's head. Now I'm the
Yeah.
man around town. And
Man.
I wanted to feel that. So I want to go bust another head and another head. Next thing you know, I'm an NSP. And
The
then
Exactly.
streets
ain't
is
none
so
of those,
backwards,
no,
bro. It's
none, yeah,
backwards.
you
Yeah.
don't
And that's the
understand.
thing.
You get brainwashed.
Straight
Yes.
up.
What is
And
it?
and that is the
Always
absolute
been it.
truth that Dario is saying right now. That is the absolute truth. Dario could that nigga what he was a comedian in school. So funny, super smart, hella funny. Always in trouble for being funny though. Not in trouble for nothing crazy, nothing over the top,
Yeah,
always just being funny.
yeah,
Because the
Yeah.
assignment is done, ma'am. The assignment is done. But
Right.
I'm about to
Right.
bullshit
Right.
a little bit because I got time. And that's you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hey,
he got more, but that look, y'all. Y'all got more praise and more people wanting to be around y'all, not
Okay.
because y'all was smart and intelligent, but it's because one was a class clown and the other one was, you know what I'm saying? Like they want the class clown, they want
Hmm.
the I remember Bernard, one hitter quitter. He was so known for that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? He was another one
yeah,
Yeah.
doing the
Bernie,
assignments.
yeah, Bernie
Bernie,
was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Smart dudes, all of them, super smart. So,
And it just
you
goes
know,
to show, man, I love it because it goes to show that brothers that come up in the hood, we just as intelligent. It was just our surroundings and we become a
yeah,
product of our environment. I never
that's
forget
it.
yeah,
hearing Nipsey Hussle. And that's why I really related to Nipsey because the way he would
yeah,
articulate and say things, I'm like, dang,
absolutely,
man, this guy was a lot alike. Because again,
yeah,
straight A student,
Mm-hmm.
all that. But when I came outside, just that walk from the crib to McMillan, and then going down to Miller
mhm,
Park,
yeah,
you ride
yeah,
just walking around North Omaha was so horrific and crazy that we had to adapt to the environment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
yeah,
So
Absolutely.
I love it though, man.
absolutely.
I love where we all come from, man. Again, sis, I'm so proud of you. Bro, I'm proud of you too. And we all just keep growing, man, and keep climbing up. Before we wrap it up, sis, I gotta hear about the motherlands. I gotta hear
Oh, absolutely. When he
what was your
told me that, I
biggest
was excited. Yeah.
what was your biggest aha moment when you went to the motherlands? Like, wow, what blew your mind over there for real, for real?
what blew my mind was to see that my husband is exactly who he say he is. So a lot of people don't know my husband. He has a background, you know what I'm saying? He got a background also. He had a record. He had his shit expunged. He had all these things, but he also had a PhD. You know what I'm saying? He also got a PhD. So when
So when
you,
They
did
smart
Justice
over
come?
there.
When did he come to Omaha?
oh, Justice been in Omaha. I mean, well, he came to Omaha probably like his late 20s, but he been in the United States though. So before Omaha, he was in New Jersey. So he lived in New Jersey.
Oh,
So he been in the States for probably over 30 something years. But his
okay.
mindset is all Nigeria. It's definitely his home. When I went to
Absolutely.
Nigeria, one of the dopest things that I saw, because a person told me, they was like, if you go to Nigeria trying to look for a certain thing, you're not gonna find it. You got to just look at the
Mm.
people, talk to people, get to know the look at the area, look at what they're doing, look at all the things. And so with my grown up eyes, um, I saw a hustle. I saw a career in hustling. Like I seen, like it was so crazy. I always wonder why my husband never stops. My husband works 24/7. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, our business is 24/7. All of what we do is 24/7. But um, the way he keeps coming up with things, and then he go back to school for something else. In Nigeria, it was so. If it was, for
I
example,
love
if it
it.
was 20 people in a room, if I'm in a room with 20, and if I'm in a room with 20 guys, 20 men,
Yeah.
20 men, I promise you, right hand of God, out of the 20, 17 hold at minimum a master's degree. Um,
Yeah.
they were they were
Oh,
they were engineers. They were all
Mm.
of these things, but they didn't have clean drinking water. But they didn't have the means to do certain things. Their dollar is well below our dollar. Their
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm meeting nurses, I'm meeting people that have these degrees and have all this stuff, and they're I know a college professor that lives there, and for the entire year, listen to me now, listen to me, I swear to God, for the entire year, his salary is about $580.
mm.
You hear what I'm saying? 500, you got to make 580. You got to make that work over there. Over here, we wouldn't be able to manage. Over here, we get food. The same time when I was in Nigeria, everybody was in an uproar in the U.S., but Nebraska, because I'm kind of seeing a little bit what's going on back home. But I could see everybody in an uproar because they don't stop food stamps. But I'm looking at these people hustle every
Yeah,
day. They don't even get food stamps. They don't get child support.
Mm.
right.
They don't get. There's no support for anything. They don't get it. You got to get
Mm.
out.
Support
You got to
yourself.
get out there, and you got to do what you
Thank
got
you.
to do. So if that means that you got to sell beans, you're going to sell beans. If that means you and your mama both going to sell beans, you're going to sell beans. One of the things that hurt my feelings, though, was to see the little girls. I saw little girls, like my baby's age. So my daughter is 8. And so she's in the car with us. And I see another little girl. She comes over. She's Muslim. She has her, I don't know if I say it right, hijab, or however they say it. She was all, had her
Yeah.
things wrapped up. Um, she had her eyebrows, though, was very similar to mine. So drawn on. She was like my daughter's age though, and she just kept saying, Auntie, do you have anything for me? Do you have any money for me, Auntie? Can you give me some money, Auntie? And so, their money is called Naira. And so I give her a little something, and she kind of look at it like, the fuck? Like, what is this? I'm like, what? That's not enough. But I didn't know. I didn't know what the exchange rate was. I wasn't really too familiar with it. But I'm looking at her conduct herself like a woman, like a little woman. And so she's ready,
Mm.
no matter what car she come in front of, or no matter what. And I could see that anybody at any time could snatch this little girl, could take her, because she's out here
Mm.
and she's
Right.
hustling by herself. It's a group of them,
Damn.
but she's holding down this corner by herself. So once she see that I'm going in my bag and I pull out more money,
That's
she
great.
call she call them up. They all come running to the van, like, Auntie,
Mm.
Auntie, do you have anything for me? Auntie, Auntie. So in Nigeria, they don't say the word cousin. Ain't no cousins in Nigeria. It's just auntie, uncle, brother, sister. So we just brothers and sisters. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? So they don't say stuff like step kids, and they don't do none of that. If I rock with you, that's my child. Like, that's it. So that was difficult to see.
Deep. It's deep.
But I saw people living on water. I saw people living in water. I saw
Hey.
some crazy stuff. But then you cross the bridge. and I saw where billionaires live, and I saw all these things, and it was like beautiful and amazing. So it was like two things can be true at the same time for sure. Or even when I go like my husband he even grew up different from me. Although where he grew up, it looked like it might have been like the bottoms. Still to this day, they have a maid, they have a driver, they have all these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you just structure your life different. Different countries do different things. You know what I'm saying? But I know you said that we was gonna wrap it up, but I wanted to make sure that I just kind of hit on like how important it is to me. Like when I see y'all, when I see men, when I see my guys, when I see my guys doing things, I know who y'all used to be out in the community. I know who you was. I
Yeah.
know the environment that we all come from. But when I see y'all on this level, in life, not dead, not in jail, not, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels so good to see y'all faces. It feels so good to know that y'all, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Hey.
y'all still, you know what I'm saying? Like like you made it. Don't ever feel like
Yeah.
you under this or you a little bit beneath. Hey, nigga, your shoulders can stand as tall as anybody else's in the rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do all the things. So give the kids what y'all felt like y'all didn't have when y'all was little. Be
100%.
all of those things. You know what I'm saying? The things that, and so that was my thing. That's what I became. I wanted girls to see what life was like. You get knocked up at 15, that throw you back. Why you want to do that?
Ooh,
Why we doing that?
Exactly.
Why, you know what? Why we doing that? Especially now that you have a voice, now that you can say things and we can, when we was back in the day, man, somebody had a condom in their pocket. Ooh, wait. You know what I'm saying? What?
Right, you in
What?
trouble.
You in
Right,
trouble.
right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
That's
y'all can just
what's up.
go pick them up. Get, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that they can do now to give them a choice and a chance. But to see y'all, man, it just feel good. I can't even front. That's why I knew the conversation was
I
gonna
was
be so
just, I was
chill.
just telling Isaac that. I was like, man, every time I see this fool, man, I'm like, man, you doing your thing, dog.
I
You doing
appreciate
Like,
your
it.
thing, man. When I got out the first time, man, you sent me some shoes, some clothes, $100. I was
Oh,
like, man, thank you, dog. I need it. And you know, like, man, I get out and be following. I was like, man, my fam doing this thing, man.
you know,
I
yeah,
gotta
I
let you know,
appreciate
like,
it.
man, you doing your thing. I appreciate it. I see you. You know, it's inspiring. That's why I'm on here with him
So,
right now, because I talked to him like, man, dog, I love what you're doing.
I swear
I
to God.
see you.
I
I
swear.
see you, fam.
appreciate it, man.
I want in. I want to help me, mentor
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like, help
sir.
me out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got you, man. I
And
appreciate that,
and
man.
it's
And y'all know
it's
anything I can do.
oh, absolutely.
Oh,
And
go
you've
ahead.
always been that kind of person. You've always been that person. I talk about y'all all the time. I just do, just because, and I know
That's
that
what's
life has
up.
taken us in different directions, and life has put us in different places and in the world and all of that. And I
Mm-hmm.
never thought. I never thought my girl would be in Atlanta. She never thought I would be in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like life
Right,
just
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's how you know God's timing, and that's how you know God's timing is so
Right.
amazing. I came to Arizona. Arizona
Yeah.
saved my marriage, not because my marriage was on the rocks, but because I was never shown how to
Mm,
respect a husband. I was never shown how to depend on
mm.
my husband. I
Wow,
was
that's
mm,
never
good.
shown how to be that for my man
yeah.
every
You don't know how to
single
treat a man when you ain't growing up, when
at
your
all,
mom ain't showing you. You don't
at
see
Right.
all.
what your mom told you. You don't know how to treat a man, talk to a man, be with a man, respect. You don't know how
Never
to do
did.
any of that. So you
You don't know
just
how to do
being
none of
who
that.
you are till you find out you was doing everything wrong.
Everything wrong. And I'm
Man,
like, and so
that's what's
it
up,
took
man.
that. I needed to know those things. I needed to see those things. I came out to Arizona and I had nobody to depend on except my husband. And so that opened up a different
Mm,
door for us. Now the bulk of our business is
Yeah,
in Omaha. It would make more sense
absolutely.
to live in Omaha, but this coming out
Yeah,
here, this saved us. Sometimes you got to get away from the chaos. You got to get away from your mama, you got to get away from your daddies, get away from your aunties, uncles, cousins, and
that
friends.
part. Come
And you
on,
have to
man.
do that. You have to
Fred,
Preach.
shed
Fred,
that.
I
If you
when you
don't,
leave, what you
it's
leave? I just like an '03.
I left in
no,
2004.
yeah.
2004. I see you.
Yep.
You had your Suburban. You had all the clothes
Yeah,
and shit in there. You drove
yeah,
past. I
yeah.
was over there by
That's
the neighborhood. You know, I
it.
said, I'm
Oh,
like, man,
for
what's up
real?
with
That's
that man?
crazy.
I
Yeah,
never
me
seen
and
you
Bernie.
again.
Matter of fact,
Yep.
me
Yeah.
and Bernie jumped in my
Yeah.
Suburban, and look,
Jumped in the Suburban. It was packed up.
And
Everything was in there. It's over
when
with.
we
I'm
got to
gone.
Kansas City, the check engine light came on. I looked at Bernie. We looked at each other. I said, "Hey, we just gonna keep on pushing."
That's
Yeah.
it.
and they got us to the ATL, man, and I've been here since, man.
Yeah,
That's
he
that's
left in
crazy.
'04.
That's crazy. We left. My mama passed away June 7th. By June 9th, because we was already coming. We know mama was gonna pass away. I think my mom passing away. I think that was her way of saying, "Baby, go ahead and go." Because if she had not passed away,
Mm.
I probably would have continued
I would
to
have
No.
left.
to stay where I was at.
Right.
But
Yeah,
we
God
got on the
bless
road,
Mama Deborah too, man. Yeah.
man. We got on that road. We got to Colorado. I felt something in the truck break. I text Justice. He's in the car ahead of me with the
Hmm.
kids. I said, I felt like the axle or something done broke. I don't know what it is, but something done broke on here. He said, what you want to
Yeah.
do? Whatever gonna make you feel safe. Same thing. Just the same way you looked at Bernie. Hey, I hit him back. I said, you're
Keep
gonna push
pushing.
it. When I
You
tell
gonna
Yeah,
you
keep pushing.
that, listen, I promise
yeah.
you, that vehicle
Yeah.
got me all the way to my
That part.
doorstep I live in
Mm.
Surprise, Arizona. It got me all the way to my doorstep, and it broke down. When the man came out here
No
to tow it,
way.
I swear to God, when the man came to tow it, that man said,
God, that's
"You drove
crazy.
this from where?" I said, "I drove it from Colorado." That man said, "There's no way you should have did that," but I know for sure my mama and God was on my side. I know it was, because if I would
Absolutely.
have looked
Somebody
back,
was.
if I'd have looked back, I'd have been divorced. If I'd have looked back, I'd have been miserable. If I would have looked back, I would have lost it all. If I would have looked back, I would have, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
you so
That's
you can't.
crazy.
So I had to realize that it's okay, and it's quiet out here, and it's I don't hear from my friends all the time. I don't see them. I don't none of the things,
Good.
none of
That's
the
good.
familiar things. But the
Right,
shit
right,
that's
right.
important, I needed that clarity. I needed it. I needed that clarity. Everywhere I went
And
in Omaha,
we can't grow in familiarity, and you can't,
that's it.
you got to get uncomfortable, and that's the thing with a lot of our people. We stay in that comfort zone and you'll never
Yeah,
grow. And I'm so
never.
wired now, just being here 20 years, working in corporate for 10, 11 years. I'm so wired and programmed to change and growth that I'm just constantly trying to reinvent, bro, constantly,
That's it.
and I
That's it.
just always
Yeah,
encourage my people to
naturally.
keep, doing the same thing, man. That's what it's all about.
I
That's it.
promise you,
And
you
that's
did that to me. I lost
Appreciate it,
peace.
bro.
I, man, that's why I ain't go back to Omaha. I ain't going back to Omaha. I
Yeah,
stay in
nah.
Lincoln
where
before I
you
went
at,
back
Stay in
Gary?
to New
Where you
Lincoln,
York.
at?
bro.
I live in Lincoln. I stayed in Lincoln after I got out. I was
Okay.
supposed to be going down to Vegas where my dad and them at, but
Yeah.
I won't go back to Omaha. I'm cool on
That
that.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool on that. I got away from everybody. The only people I know is a couple guys I was locked up with. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with
Mm-hmm.
that. My girl. That's it.
That's
That
it.
part,
I'm
man. Well,
cool.
man,
Some
this was dope, man. It was so good to catch up, man. Alicia, you got
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else?
No, I'm good. I'm just taking it all in. I'm looking at y'all. I mean, I know we y'all looking at you, but I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so, man. You
No
don't even,
doubt.
and that's
Appreciate
crazy.
it.
I was gonna throw in my Leaf gear today, but I was like, I don't want to do too much.
Ah,
I don't, I already took them to Nigeria, so I don't want to do too much. But
hey,
just
I
all of
saw
that
you over
across
there.
the
I
board.
saw you in Nigeria with the Orlev. I was like,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it's so crazy. I'll never forget. A friend of mine, she came from Omaha. She was like, you got all this or leaf stuff. Like, I support. I'm gonna support. I promise I'm gonna support.
for sure.
Y'all don't
For
understand.
sure.
Y'all, you know what I'm saying? When you see somebody trying to grind from them bricks that we came from, nigga, sitting in
Man.
front of Thai house and sitting on the corner and just dreaming and just trying to figure out what we wanted to do and where we wanted to
Dreaming.
be. Walking to
All we
R&L's
want to
trying
do
to
Man.
is
figure
get a
out,
whip
you
and
know what I'm
ride up
saying?
Ames.
That's it.
Man.
So when I see that, like I said,
Just
it just
ride up Ames.
that's it. It
That's
just
all we
means
want.
everything to me. I ain't gonna lie. It does. It means everything to me. It don't mean I don't love home. I love back home. I love back
Yeah,
home.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Me too.
But I
Yeah.
Absolutely.
think, but
And
I'm
that's
so
the whole
happy that
reason for
God
us
allowed us to
doing.
see something different.
And that's the
Yep.
whole reason for us
Absolutely.
doing this. I want Omaha to know, and I'm sure they already do. I create this platform is really somebody asked me the other day, and really this is to I'm like a gateway for Omaha. I know I'm in
Yeah.
the ATL, so I want to
Yeah.
highlight people that's in Omaha to give them
Absolutely.
that platform to share their testimonies, just like Alicia, to give back.
Yeah.
So that little girl or that little guy that's in Omaha that's thinking about joining the gang and veering left, bro, you ain't got to go that way. So you see, we come from those streets, ain't nothing good in them. And so I thank y'all, man, for coming on. This was dope, man. Just rocking with y'all.
Oh,
Sis, I
yeah, it
love you,
was.
bro. I love you, man. Let's keep growing and stay in touch, man. Respectfully, the podcast. It's a wrap. Love y'all.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Love y'all. All
All
right.
right. Yep. Okay, later.